G'day guys, ZiggyD here. This vlog is coming at you from Auckland, New Zealand, where it's about 10 PM. We got home pretty late after spending a big long day at the Grinding Gear Games offices, where I've been playing around with the new expansion and Essence League and recording a whole bunch of footage for you guys. What a surreal and very exciting experience it has been so far. Walking into the office, there was a bit of a hush over. Everyone was kind of tapping away, and it's this kind of big circular office, and right in the middle is this glass case where Chris Wilson sits, looking out over everything, making sure everything's going according to plan. And we walked in, and walked into Chris's office, and he stood up, straightened himself out, and just looked like Morpheus out of the Matrix. Had this like collared jacket on and this turtleneck, and he's completely smooth. He just shaved his beard off and completely smooth shaved head, and he's like, "Welcome, Ziggy." And I'm like, it was so awesome, man. So me and Chris have spoken plenty of times on Skype and things like, we've never met in person, right? And I couldn't have asked for a better, more epic first meeting with Chris. Very, very cool. Very cool first meeting, and you know, it's been pretty cool from there. Like, this is not exactly what I expected. Kind of expected that we would go there and do a bit of a kind of like a little media tour thing of our own, like what Chris does when he goes overseas and talks to, you know, various journalists and stuff like that. But it's almost like we went to the offices and just became a part of the staff. Like, we've got our own computer station there, and we've been kind of like given access to the tools and stuff they use, and I feel like I'm a temporary employee at GGG, and it's kind of cool. So that's partly what this vlog is about, to let you guys know that I am in Auckland, New Zealand, and I am making a bunch of content on the upcoming expansion, and to encourage you guys to leave in the comments below your questions, thoughts, and queries. That's also just another word for questions. In the comments below about the upcoming expansion, Grinding Gear Games, Essence League, anything like that, and I'll see what I can do in the content that I'm going to be releasing over the next couple of weeks that I produce while I'm here. Now, there is a second part to this vlog, and that is I wanted to discuss and get out for you guys the future of State of Exile. To be more accurate and to the point, the lack of future of State of Exile, because State of Exile is indeed coming to an end. So you guys may have noticed that Xenocide has kind of moved on from Path of Exile and from YouTubing and streaming in general, it seems, as well. He's closed up his YouTube channel and his stream for the most part, and we spoke at length a little while ago about his kind of moving on and the future of State of Exile. And if you guys kind of want to like know about that side of things, you know, why he's moving on from Path of Exile and that sort of deal, then I'm not going to talk about that. That's up to him to talk about, you know, to tell in his own words. So if he wants to talk about that, he can. But I'll talk about State of Exile and its you know, lack of future, essentially. So we spoke at length, and we both kind of came to the agreement that we couldn't really see a way in which State of Exile could continue post Xeno moving on, and post kind of the group that was State of Exile, you know, moving apart and not working together on State of Exile, right? Because it wasn't my show. I came to it later on, and for sure I played a role, but it wasn't my show. It was something that we did as a group, essentially, and I just don't really see State of Exile being State of Exile in the future, moving on, and I'm not going to take the State of Exile name and move on with it, and so that's essentially the end of State of Exile. I won't lie, it is sad, and it's also sad that it kind of ended in such a fashion, as many things kind of do, I think, on the internet especially. There's not always like some cheery goodbye, farewell episode, or big special finale or anything like that, like there is on TV. You know, sometimes these things just end. They just kind of finish. And whatever your opinions about State of Exile, I think that the show was fantastic. I think that it was such a good thing for me personally, and I think it was also a pretty good thing for the community too. I mean, I look at it this way: it was the longest running podcast for Path of Exile, the longest running podcast of any gaming type that I can think of, and it was a place for not only myself to get together with a group of people who are similarly interested in a game that I was super interested in, and you know, talk at length and at detail, that's just like a dream for me, because you don't get that in real life. You don't get a chance to spend 2 hours talking about a game you love with other people. They just call you a nerd. So wonderful to be able to do that, and totally worth getting up at 4:30 a.m. in the morning for. But I love doing that every fortnight. It was such a good outlet for me to get some of my, some of like the excitement out for the game, and to share it with people was a really good, awesome experience, really good for me. And I think for the community as well, like hundreds if not thousands of people got together every fortnight, you know, got in the Twitch chat, got in the YouTube comments, and discussed the game at length. And I think that was really good. It was a conduit for discussion, and I'm glad that it was a thing. And hopefully you guys look back on State of Exile with fondness, right? I hope so, because I certainly do. Now, the end of State of Exile is by no means the end of ZiggyD content, in case you couldn't tell. I'm here in New Zealand, you know, doing some investigative journalism, sneaking into the GGG offices, trying to get you guys some sick new content. And that's essentially, this is kind of almost marks a bit of a new start for me, I guess. Kind of. Like, when I was talking to Zeno, I was a bit sad about State of Exile ending, but at the same time I was really excited because it's a new chapter for me. I'm starting to, I think, spread my wings a little bit more. You know, the life of a YouTuber is very much about taking a lot of information, processing it, chewing it up essentially, and regurgitating it and tasting morsels for you little chirping birdies to eat. So, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that analogy. But that's essentially life of a YouTuber, right? Like processing and regurgitating information. But I'm doing, you know, I'm spreading my wings a bit, getting out there and, you know, doing this trip to New Zealand, which is something that myself and Amy planned ourselves, paid for ourselves, and fully organized and did everything for ourselves. And, you know, like, Chris, can we come out? We're like, we want to come around. And he's like, yeah, we'd love to have you around. And, you know, getting out there and producing some new content, right? Like getting you guys something that you guys can't see anywhere else. Like getting actually into the offices and getting some, you know, right from the source information. So I think that's really cool and exciting, and hopefully a good sign of how I want to continue to grow as a content creator. And of course, kind of also on that topic, the ending of State of Exile also represents a bit of a void for me, because I need that place to talk to people and talk about the game in depth, and I need to be able to be producing something good. And as I said, State of Exile wasn't really my show, but it was a good enough outlet for me. But now that that is ending, I need a good outlet, and I also want to, at the same time, continue to branch out and continue to grow, and also make something for myself. So this is a brilliant opportunity. I've been getting more and more excited about the opportunity here to actually make something for myself. Now, I'm not going to make another podcast. We have quite a few podcasts going already, actually. We have the Casual Not Try Hard podcast. We have the Lion Eyes Watch, a new one starting, which I've heard very good things about. So we have some group podcast discussion shows happening for Path of Exile, most of which are pretty damn good, and hopefully I'll jump on some of those at some point and discuss in a group as well, because I love podcasting. But I also see there's an opportunity to give you guys something a bit different, and I want to do something a bit different too. So I don't want to make another group podcast. I'm not going to make some other podcast and just call it by a different name and basically just continue on as if I was doing State of Exile still. I want to do something new and something more kind of like to my strengths, and also explore some new styles of content for you guys that I think you'll find very interesting and informative and engaging. Stuff that you guys haven't seen before. So sorry to like announcement of an announcement to you guys, but I don't want to give too much detail just yet until I refine the idea and the aspects of the show that I want to do a little bit more. But I want to kind of do something that's going to be more one-on-one, going to be more personal, and something that I think is the weakness of the group format podcast is that you tend to move through topics pretty quickly, only hear a little bit of opinion or information from each person, because then you have like 4 or 5 or even more people on. You only hear a little bit, like you only kind of scratch the surface of the topic. So I want to do a much more intimate one-on-one kind of thing, where we're getting much more into the details of a particular topic, and maybe make it a little bit more interactive as well for you guys. So I have some cool plans, which I'll kind of enlighten you guys to sometime in the near future. But for now, I'm focusing on this trip in New Zealand. Going to be doing as much content as I can here, and then when I get back, I'm going to start work in earnest on that show idea that I have. So I hope you guys take away excitement and curiosity from this video, and not just sadness about the ending of State of Exile, right? I hope you guys are excited for the cool stuff that I'm going to be bringing you guys, and there's going to be plenty of Path of Exile content to come. The game is growing, the community is growing, hopefully you see that I'm growing as well, and it's pretty exciting times, I think. Even though I am a bit sad, I'm more excited, and I hope you guys are too. So guys, again, leave any comments, questions you guys have about the expansion and all that I can work on while I'm here in the comments below. I look forward to reading them, and I will see you guys soon. That is it for now. I'm ZiggyD, and thanks for watching.